Good morning. Hello, Instagram. Hello, Facebook. Happy Friday. Little morning stretch. I feel like I dressed up for y'all because I got, oh, that felt good. Because I'm wearing a shirt with a collar on it. Isn't that fun? Hey, Becca. Good morning. So we've made it through the week. Happy Friday. As always, we're just going to do a little bit of grounding and connection this morning. We'll start with a poem in a little bit. Just a brief check-in. I'm feeling like a mixture of sad and stressed out this morning, and also recognizing that everything is fine. So I'm like, as I tune into it, I'm feeling kind of like a heaviness in my chest. And I'm feeling just sort of like if I were to do breath work right now, I would probably cry for 5 or 10 minutes just because there's a lot of buildup inside that I'm aware of that I've been busy working and I haven't had the chance to release it. So today, when we move into the grounding and connection, we may work a little bit with that idea of releasing buildup in a really gentle way, because what can happen is when it just builds and builds and builds and builds and goes unrecognized, it can like shoot out in all sorts of like really inappropriate ways. Whatever your version of that is, mine is getting incredibly snippy. Like in the best of times, I'm very compassionate and very empathetic. And when there's a ton of buildup, I just kind of go very practical and explode on people. All right. So welcome. Good morning. We're going to read a poem from Hafiz, A Year with Hafiz, a poem for every day. And this poem is called My Teacher Once Told Me a Story. My teacher once told me a story of a great saint, of a perfect one who wanted to travel around his part of the world before he died and talk about some spiritual matters to those who would come to listen. And when his men and he reached a certain country, he said to some of his companions, he said, sensuality is in fine shape here, maybe even too fine shape. But my basic concern is that we fit in well and that we get a few to listen to my words, which will plant seeds here for generations. So I want you to of the most beautiful erotic dancers who can travel with us for the next month as we tour this land. So the dancers were employed, and from town to town and city to city, the great master traveled. The dancers would begin the show, as it were, and once a nice crowd had gathered, the saint would speak for just a few minutes, then let the performers resume their art. My own master then stopped the story, looked at me in a very sweet and somewhat amused way, and said, Hafiz, don't forget the dancers in your poems. I love that. I think that is the end of the poem. Man, I'm seeing, and I'm doing it myself, I see so many of us taking everything so seriously right now. Not that it's not serious, it is. And also, I think that there's space for fun. There's space for whatever the version of the erotic dancer is that we want to put into whatever we're sharing with the world. Because I think if we don't allow space for a little bit of sensuality or joy or fun amidst all of this uncertainty and chaos and tumult and buildup, we're not gonna make it. It's gonna be a really, really long haul. So I love that the invitation of this poem is know where the truth is rooted and allow space for sensuality and playfulness in all of it. Yeah, so let's take that with us as we sort of move into some grounding and connection, that sense of playfulness. So sit in a way that feels comfortable for you, or you can stand or lay down, whatever feels right, and just bring some attention to your breath. And maybe today we can bring some playful attention to the breath. So just being very aware as you inhale that this is you inhaling. And very aware as you exhale that this is you exhaling in this moment. And you can really play with expanding the inhale, letting it inflate your belly and inflate your chest, and then deflating on the exhale, just letting all that breath out. And again, a nice elongated inhale. And deflate on the way out. And now we'll invite ourselves a little bit more into our bodies, just feeling your weight settle into your hips. Feeling your shoulders pulling down towards the earth. And inviting gravity to play with us maybe a little bit more deeply. So you can even imagine that you're being pulled down towards the earth in a really gentle way. And with a kind of gentle and playful, our word of the day, attention, you can go ahead and bring your attention to this spot right above the crown of your head. And just with your attention, do a light scan of the body, starting at the top of the head, working your way down through the forehead and the eyeballs and the jaw, and noticing any places that feel very alive and engaged and sensuous, whatever that means to you, and also noticing those places that might feel constricted or heavy or tired or like built up. We're working our way down through the chest and the upper back. Just getting a picture of what's going on in the body this morning. Moving down through the lower back and the hips, the thighs, the calves, all the way to the bottom of your feet. And all together, just take a nice deep breath. And release it with a sigh. And so now what I'll invite you to do is really gently tune into a place in your body where it feels like there is something built up that wants to be released. And you may experience this as just a sudden sensation or a constriction. Or just a tingling. And the game is we don't have to label what it is. We're just tuning into the space in our body, the physical sensation of something that wants to be released. And once you've found that place, and you can always just make it up, just gently breathe into that spot. So for me, I found a spot about 2 inches behind my belly button and 2 inches below. And see if you can tune into the quality of the sensation there. Is it a tingle, a constriction? And some of us might be able to tune in to that area and get an image or a shape or a color. And so as an experiment, just keep tuning into it. But what we're going to do is allow the breath to start to release some of that buildup. And we're going to do that with a gentle sound on the exhale. And the sound can be whatever it wants to be. So let's try it together, tuning into that area, breathe into it. And on the exhale, see what you can release with the sound. And we'll do it again. And if you want to, just experiment with a different sound. So breathing in and release. I don't know why. That one was fun for me. Laughter is also a great way to release built up stuff. We have a lot. Sometimes we think we do. So let's do it together one more time. And this time, let's all just release on a laugh. And it might feel fake at first, but we're just going to keep laughing until it feels real. So breathing into that spot where there's buildup that wants attention, breathing in. And releasing it with a laugh. Oh man, if this is your first time tuning into this is really special for you. All right. And just gently bring your attention back to the breath and see what might have shifted in that area that you were tuned into, if anything. I read somewhere that the breath is the quietest, most gentle song that we can sing. And singing, giving voice is such a beautiful way to release pent up stuff. And so if we're feeling constricted or build up, sometimes just releasing a breath with a sound can do a lot of good. So just all together, just take one more deep breath into the body. And release it with a gentle sigh. You can open your eyes if they're closed and just come on back. Welcome back. What a fun tool. What a fun game that is. I think it's a great reminder that the breath can connect our inner world and connect with the outer world without needing any particular kind of practice. It's just something that we have the ability to do. So it's animal card time, not animal card, archetype card time. So we're going to work, as always, with the Wild Unknown Archetype Deck. And the question that I'm holding today is, where can I find more playfulness and sensuality today? Where can I find space to express that? And the archetype that came up for us this morning is the mystic. The mystic. And I don't think we've worked with this one here. Nice. Yeah, Kyle, please take this, take the title until it feels real. That's how we make things. You just keep doing it until it feels real, or in your case, Kyle, until it actually is real. It's good to see you this morning. So, XXI, the mystic, coming for us, coming in hot. All right, the mystic is the seeker, the light worker, and the dreamer. The mystic is often misunderstood in our culture, depicted as a wandering or lighthearted daydreamer. Yet like Shiva, The true mystic plays a critical role in society, remaining fearlessly dedicated to the path of transformation. In order to save the earth from darkness, Shiva swallows the poison of the world and holds it in his throat, slowly transmuting the liquid into nectar. This is the work of the mystic. They do not fear darkness, but rather sit in the presence of it, harness the potential and latent energy behind it, and embed it with light. They are patient and prudent change makers, seeking growth above all else. Unanswerable questions are the mystic's lifeblood. The mystic revels in mystery in the great riddle of life, dancing with the forces of light and dark upon its wings. When light, a remover of darkness, visionary and ageless. When dark, expects results, seeks attention and recognition. Yeah. I love that, layering it, especially on top of the Hafiz poem that we read earlier, this idea of the lightheartedness and the wandering and the playfulness being, it's not for its own sake, it's in the service of something greater, whether that is, making a delicious meal or inhaling some of the darkness around us and that we're feeling in our body, and through an internal alchemical process, transmuting it through breath or creativity or song or whatever your version of it is, into lightness and into healing that helps us as individuals and also the collective. I mean, just through what we've done here this morning, I'll share that a lot of the constriction and sadness and stress that I was feeling just about 10 minutes ago is gone. We breathed it out. And so I'm really grateful for your help in that. So today, I think the invitation for me, and maybe for you, is to remember the ability that we all have to engage with the breath and engage with sensuality and play, especially when things get really tough and really hard and really dark, to engage with those energies, not as a way of ignoring it or pushing it aside, but of engaging with it and transforming it. Yeah. Wow. Thanks for this morning. This was really transformational for me. So thanks for playing along. As always, we'll be back here at 7:30 a.m. tomorrow on Saturday. This video lives here on the Facebook, and it's also on it'll be on my website at storyandspirit.org/meditations. And as always, if there's any way that I can support you, or if there's anyone that could use these meditations, feel free to forward them, and always please feel free to get in touch with me here or through my website. Thank you for a beautiful grounding and connection this morning, and I'll see you tomorrow. Have a good day.